Okay, one of our, an agent from Telecomix, Peter Fein.
Hi, my name is Pete Fein. I'm an internaut and agent with Telecomix. Telecomix is a global ad hoc cluster of volunteer net activists. For the last year, we've been tech support for the Arab Spring, trying to keep the internet running in Egypt, Syria, Iran, Libya, and elsewhere. We help activists on the ground run Tor, VPNs, and other forms of encryption, publish photos and videos, and set up interviews in the Western press. During the Egyptian revolution, we served as a manual relay to Twitter, forwarding messages we received on our chat network to Twitter for Egyptians who were unable to tweet themselves. That's the kind of facilitation that we do. When the Mubarak government shut off the Egyptian internet, we went low-tech, using dial-up modems and fax machines like this to send comms and medical information, such as treatments for tear gas. I do this work because I believe free speech is the foundation of a free society. We can have the vote all we want, we can donate wherever we want, but unless we're able to talk to one another and work out collectively what we want to do, those things don't matter. And while I wish censorship was confined to the Middle East, it's not. It's everywhere. In San Francisco, the local transit agency shut off the cell network to prevent a protest. There are obvious attacks, like the seizure of WikiLeaks domain names, but subtle things too, like the expansion of copyright and patents under ACTA, or the FCC's ongoing sales of ever more radio spectrum into private hands, to say nothing of the deliberate targeting of photographers and press at Occupy Wall Street by the NYPD, or years of warrantless surveillance by the FBI and the NSA. The trend is clear. Our rights of free speech and privacy are under attack. Why? Why? New communications technologies have always been a threat to people and institutions in power. They have responded with repression and restriction. We forget how young the internet is. Most of us have only had access for the last 15 years. It took 100 years for kings and the church to clamp down on the printing press. It took 30 years for the US government to clamp down on radio at the behest of commercial broadcasters and the Navy. The fight for the internet is so important because in some ways it's the final communication medium. Not to be the end of history, but it's eaten TV, it's eaten radio, it's eaten CDs, it's even gone into space. If we cannot communicate, we cannot organize. If we cannot organize, we cannot resist. If we cannot resist, our lives and our destinies will be determined by those with the power to control communication. We must meet this threat with direct action. In Egypt, Telecomix didn't call up Clinton, to call Obama, to call Hosseini Mubarak, to say, please turn the internet back on. Instead, we got out some fax machines and did whatever we could do to make communication possible. Like Telecomix, Occupy Wall Street is an unmediated, or perhaps immediated movement, one that actively practices the participatory politics we would like to exist. The question we need to ask ourselves is not what our country can do for us or what we can do for our country, but rather what we can do for ourselves and for each other. Thank you.